everybody. Happy Valentine's Day, happy Monday, and welcome to my madness, methods to my madness. Okay, today is all about stamps, okay? So I really should have started with stamps just because we're out of, so many IOD stockists are out of the molds, and I started with molds. But when we get them all back in, now you'll know what to do, okay? So let's just get started, all right? I've just got this board. It's just a canvas board right here that we are gonna, I'm just gonna show you some stuff about stamps. And then tomorrow we'll actually do a little project. So if you have a stamp or wanna get a stamp, you can follow along. Hey, Cynthia. Hey, Joycey. Hey, Doris. Hey, Lindsay. Okay, so let's just begin. All right, so you order a stamp and you just get it in the mail, okay? This is one that I actually ordered from my friend Jane at Surface Anthology because it's a retired stamp, but I'm just going to show you what to do when you first get your stamps, okay? So you're just going to take them out of the package. And there's a lot of stamps, and we've got some new stuff coming. So you could just be a little patient. I know it's just very frustrating when you want something and we can't, and we just cannot get our hands on it. But so they come in a plastic. Okay, they're gonna come like this. It has a sheet on it, and so you just separate it. Okay, so you just will separate the sheet. This one looks a little bit different than some of the new ones, actually. Now, you're not going to tear this up, okay? So you'll think, oh my gosh, it's so hard. If I pull really hard, I'm going to tear it up. No, it's very sturdy. Just pull it, and I'm sorry for the noise. Hey, Betty. Oh, shoot. Y'all, guess what? I have a text number now. Finally, so don't let me forget to give that to y'all. So many people are saying, I don't know when you're going live. So now you will. Now you will. I'll give you my text number, so I will try to remember. I'm going to make myself a note. A big note. Text a notification. All right, so see how hard it's kind of, just pull it. Sorry, I know that's loud, but just wanted to show you. So just pull it off, okay? And then you're going to pull, well, no, before I do anything else, all right, you're just going to take a little piece of sandpaper or a sanding block. Do I have a sanding block? Oh, well, you know what it looks like. So this is a 400 grit, okay? It's soft. Really, you can take like a 220 grit, something like that. But you're going to want to just scuff it up a little bit. I usually use a little bit more than a 400 grit, actually. But you don't want to mess up the detail, but it's pretty sturdy. So like for instance, this is I think this is a 100. Let me put you down just a little bit more. Okay, but let's just use the 400 just in case someone just gets all maybe worked out that day and you're like, really? So let's just see. So we're just gonna sand it like this, right? So I just do this before I peel them off or cut them off. Now what you can do, what I'm going to show you later. All right, so all this does, and this part, y'all, of course, this is the stamp part. And all this does is give it a little tooth so that when you go to stamp, it's not going to just slip and slide on you. So take the time to do this. But if you don't take the time to do this, once you use it one time, it's good to go. Because then, you've already, like if you just paint on it or whatever, if you forget, no worries. You can always go back and do this. Okay? So you're just going to sand each little piece. All over like this. Okay? Now, from here, you can either, and I didn't get a, hold on, let me grab something. I'm sorry, I thought I had everything. Ooh, it's hot. I I didn't know there was so much to talk about with stamps, but y'all, there really is. Okay. Let's see if there are any questions. No questions so far. Okay. So, what you can do, now, when I have a stamp like this where there's room to cut around these pieces, I will actually just leave them on this sheet and cut around it, okay? So, for instance, this little round, well, I'll just cut this whole piece off right here. You don't have to do this, y'all. You don't have to do this. You can, if you want to wash them and clean them and put them back on this thing and then store them like, let's see. See, like these butterflies, I didn't cut up. I'm just showing you what you can do. So the butterflies, I have them in this little package, but they're still on their little sheet, okay? I just take them off each time I want to use it. But if I take them off like that, let me just wait and go back. I'm just going to cut these off just for ease. And the reason is, so now when you go to stamp, because see, this one's a long piece and it'd be kind of flimsy. So when you cut it off with this thing, you have something to hold on to, right? See, like this? And so then when you go to stamp, which I'm going to show you, it's much easier to have a little something that you can hold on to and brace it down, all right? So I'm not going to cut all these off, but I just wanted to show you. Okay? Because it gets easier as you use them to just store them in a little bag, so it doesn't matter if they're cut up or not, okay? So, now, if you don't do that method, my nose always starts dripping when I'm over here. We have these Syn Mounts. That's what they're called, okay? I have these on my website. I have all this on my website at weatheredwings.com. Okay, in the shop, you have to go into the shop area on my website and just go under Iron Orchid Designs and then under Stamps. Okay, so look, and we'll recap. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you. All right, so this is called a Syn Mount. So what it is, it's just something kind of like what they come on. Right? It's just a little sturdier, and there's lines on it. So there's lines on it to help you keep it straight. Can you see that without me blinding you? Shoot. Okay, see? I'm sorry, y'all. So see, there's lines on it. All right. So say, for instance, just put these under this. Let's put it under here. Okay. So I cut these up as well. All right. Okay, so let's say, let's take these butterflies for instance. Okay. Now I did cut one off because I think I gave it to somebody. I think I gave it to you, Joyce. I didn't. Hey, Jan. Okay. Because I mean, who needs this many butterflies? No, I'm just kidding. All right, so take this off. Now, you don't have to sand them each time, okay? Just when you very first get it, or if you know there's one that you've never used before. So that's why as soon as I get it, or as soon as I open one up to start using it, I'll just go ahead and sand all of them, just a really quick sand. That way I don't have to think, okay, have I used this one before or not? Because it looks like I haven't, but I think I have. All right, so what I would do, this one again has a lot of space where you could just cut around it, okay? So you could pull one off. All right, say I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna use, I'll just use this. So I wanna use this butterfly. Now, if you're gonna pull it off the sheet that it comes on, again, you're not gonna tear it up. It's gonna be, look, it's gonna be really hard to pull. I mean, it's really hard, see? And it's stuck on there, but don't, just keep pulling it. Don't be afraid, you're not gonna tear it up. All right, see, it's really sturdy. It's really sturdy. And you're not gonna tear it up, and then it just came off right there, okay? these will stick to the back, or these will just stick to one of these Syn Mounts, and it sticks really well, okay? So these come really in handy if you're gonna stamp something like a word, okay? You can line up all the letters and keep them straight on these grids, and so that really helps with this. Or just stick it on there and cut it off. Cut it out. Okay. If for some reason it doesn't want to stick, I mean, it'll always stick if it's brand new, but if you've used it a while and it quits sticking, just clean the back with, or clean both of them with rubbing alcohol, and just get all the grime or whatever's on there off. And so now, see, now I have something to hold it with again and go down with, okay? All right, let's see, is there any questions? If I am missing something, Sharon, thank you so much. Hey, Jessie. Sharon, you're so sweet. Thank you. Okay, let me see what else. All right, so maybe are there any questions on that part? Because I will move on and start with some examples, and then we'll talk about masking as well, okay? There are different ways. You can stamp with paint. You can stamp with ink and all kinds of paint, okay? All kinds of paint. Now, I do know that chalk paint cleans off a lot better. So that's one thing you got to do is clean them. You got to clean them. Like, try to as soon as you get through, okay? And like I said, there's a couple that I have messed up because I haven't cleaned, and I've used them, and I don't know why I didn't clean them. I forgot. That's my story. I just forgot. I do sell them, Karen. Yes, they're on my website. You asked a question, Betty. What was it? Let's see. They're at weatheredwings.com, y'all. Weatheredwings.com. Betty, do you have to have the Syn Mounts on your... Yes, I have them. I have them, Betty. They're like $2.50 a piece. Okay? You don't have to cut them up. You don't have to do that. You can just cut it in half or fourths or whatever you want to do. I mean, I really like them if I don't have it where I can, just cut it up on the, whatever it comes on. Whatever feels best. Now, like the big kindest regards stamp, I just left the whole thing on there. Just left the whole thing on whatever. I never pulled it off, is what I'm trying to say. I didn't pull it off like I just did the butterfly. All right, so let's start with, okay, I was cleaning up and I put all my paint up, so I got to get some paint. But I got ink here. I'm going to show you guys with ink, and then I'll show you with paint. A lot of people like paint. A lot of people like ink. I've just recently used ink, and I tell you, I love it. So hold on, let me grab some paint. I cleaned up a little bit. Let's see. Let's get the green. Hey, Sailor. Jeez. Ah! I almost fell. I had one of these plastic sheets on the floor a minute ago. My daughter called, and I stepped on it, and it slid because now I have floors. And I was like, oh my gosh, I about fell down. I mean, I always have my hurry up britches on, and I fall. I just fall. One of these days, I'm going to say, sorry, no live, I have broken my leg. Okay, so let's get some paint down here. Now I got to see how I can maneuver this stuff so y'all can see. And let me go back up and see if there are any questions. Okay, do you sell Big Top? I do, Sharon. Big Top, she's talking about, it's a DIY top coat. It's our polycrylic. So I sell DIY top coat, and I sell Paint Couture's top coat. They're both different. This one kind of has a little sheen to it, and then I usually use Paint Couture's top coats for my furniture because it's self-leveling and it's just really nice. Just like their paints. All right, so this is one of the top sheets that comes on a stamp. I'm going to use it. I save these because I will keep, I keep a lot of my stuff in just an envelope, okay? You can keep it in a baggie or whatever, but I just tend to save these thinking I may need it. So let's start with some paint, okay? I'm gonna go with Hey Sailor. This is a blue. Pam. Well, my husband and I are going skiing in a couple of weeks. He just did not take the hint that I did not want to go. And so I'm just a nervous wreck. I mean, it's been a while since I've skied. I don't love it. I like it if the snow is good. I mean, I'm a fair weather skier. If the snow's nice, I can ski. If it's not, I'm scared to death. If I hear one little thing of ice, I'm like, I cannot go down. I don't want to break anything. All right, so I just pour out a little bit of paint, okay? And then you're going to take, I use these sprayers by Iron Orchid Designs. They're just rubber, and mine is stained. They're this color, actually, when you first get it, that little reddish color. The ink does stain mine, because I'll show you something with the ink. All right, so you can use a paint roller. These are just always, I just think these are the best, actually. So you just take your brayer and load it up. Don't soak it. You don't just gob it on like you do when you're painting a wall with a paint roller and you're trying to really get a lot of paint on the roller. You're not trying to do that with this. Just coat it. Okay, so I go forward to get a paint on it. And then I'll kind of come back just a little bit. And if I see I got a lot on there, I'll start coming back a little bit to get some off. Now see, I see on the edge I don't have, it's not covered, so you can just keep working. But if it's too coated, just come down a little bit where you don't have much and get a little bit of it off. And you'll know, this is what you want it to look like, okay? You'll know if there's too much on it because it just kind of starts like, well, you'll just see. There's just a lot on it. It starts kind of dripping. Let me see if I can get it to look like that. All right, see? You don't want it to look like this. You don't want that. Okay, so I'm going to back load or offload. I don't know why I say back load. All right, and then you just take your stamp and you just want to roll over the top of it gently, because you don't see what I just got it on the flat part. You don't want to do that. So just wipe it off, but you're just hitting the high points. Or just the image. Most of these images are made to have areas where, you know, they're just, most of them are made to look a little distressed, okay? So it's just gonna look like this, right? All right, and I've got something to hold on to, and so I'm just gonna, can y'all see right here? I'm just gonna press it lightly down. Now, this is important, okay? I like to come down, once I lay it down like this, I just ease one of my hands on top of it, okay? And then just kind of start, the IOD sisters call it tickling, so they just say move your fingers like this on top of it, okay? Don't slide like this, because you don't want the stamp to take off and, you know, skid or shift is what they call it. Because then your image will mess up. But don't panic if your image messes up. Paint again, dry it, and re-stamp. Like I did the other day with the dragonfly, okay? That dragonfly, I don't know what, every time I rolled it, it was too many. I had to do it like 3 times before I got it like I liked it. And what I ended up doing is just taking the little stamp and I just rolled out some paint on my thing, and I just set my little stamp on the paint like that because it just kept getting too much paint on there. just press it down, up and down like this. And then just take the ends and just lift up, okay? Find a place. I'm going to show you. I can't tell this clear thing where it is. I got a big board for some big projects. Okay, so that's with the paint, okay? See, that's really cool. I love it. So, I love the paint. I love using the paint. And that's what I mostly use. A lot of people just want to use the ink because they say that the design is just better. The design is better. So let's try. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this, where's my water bottle? Oh, yeah, hold on. I'm just going to spray it. Spritz it, I should say, just to keep it a little wet. I'm just going to, this is just water. Okay, I'm going to set it off to the side somewhere. All right, now, let's try the ink. I don't know if I may have to add some ink. Any questions on that so far? Hey, Capri. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, Doris. You can use the ink on cloth. We did that in Creative Junkies. We did that with some tea towels and some, hold on, I'll show you one thing. I guess we could do that. I'll see if I have some cloth. Let's see. I'll do an example on this little strip here, but so here is stamping on fabric, okay? And this is masking, so I'll kind of do a little masking later, earlier. Okay, so let's see. Let me get another butterfly and we'll kind of compare. Ooh, that's a big one. Let's just do this big one. Again, I'm pulling it off. Okay. Yeah, like a t-shirt, Doris. We did I did some t-shirts. Yeah, I guess that was just in my group. Yeah, we did that. By the way, if you're interested in the group, it's Creative Junkies. I think I have several of them on here. So maybe they can tell you if it's worth it. No, we have a good group of women. We do some fun stuff. All right, again, I'm going to put this on here. And that's on my website as well. You'll just go to it's just weatheredwings.com. And it's under Creative Junkies. And there's a link. You can and there's information. So no pressure. You can read about it, see if you're interested. You can try it out. There's, of course, not a contract or anything. It's just all for you. All right. This is a nice big butterfly. I've really enjoyed using this. How nice that is. Okay. Now, I always thought the ink would be easier to smear. Oh my gosh, what? All right, so a lot of people, I'm going to try to do what most people do. I usually roll it like I do paint. Okay, I'll roll this. But either way, so let's just do this. Okay, so you take your stamp, and I hope I got enough on here. Let me just add a little bit. I've got paint right there. I don't know where it came from. No telling. So these are the inks. I have the inks. These are also IOD. The ink pads are IOD. And they're nice because they stack. Okay, I'm going to see if I can. just kind of starts sinking. You could help it along, but let me just see what it's doing. All right. Are there any comments? Hey, Lisa. Where is my apron? Thank you, Joy. I do need my apron. It's an old shirt, but why get paint on it when I only have a few left that have no paint? Okay. I don't know where my DIY thing went. Apron. I have no idea. All right. So I'm just gonna, let me see, I'm just gonna kind of offload that right here. Get it. Oh, I love this color so much. It's like, well, it's called Ocean's Deep, so it's like a turquoise. All right, so I'm just gonna start tapping it like this. Once you use the ink, it's like, why have I not been using the ink? Because it really is, the details are very crisp. All right, now, that little flat part. All right. Ooh, this color is so pretty. Look at the color. That's really pretty. Now, I hope I have enough, because like I said, I usually use the roller. I'm not sure why. I'm just more comfortable with the roller. All right, let's just see. Okay, I'll put it right here. Same thing though, I hold it, and then I think with the ink though, I press it a little harder because it doesn't have like a buildup like paint where it's gonna, you know, where it's easy to smear. Now you still don't want to shift it. But I think, and if anybody's on here, Jessie, yeah, see, Jessie loves the ink. I was going to say, do you find yourself pressing harder with ink? Yeah, a lot of people prefer the ink. It's a lot less messy too, because you don't have to see, I've got this paint poured out, so now I have to not only clean the stamp, you really have to clean with the ink because the ink will stain it. But now I've got to, you know, clean this that I rolled the paint on and clean the brayer. Okay. All right. So here, now, I'm going to show you that I had a little ink right there. That's why, I don't know. Just be careful, don't get it on the flat part because I got it right there. But here is the inked butterfly. Okay, the ink and the paint. Now it's a different butterfly, but so these, you know, these both are really good to me. I don't think one is, I tell you what, I'll just roll some paint on this one now. Let's see if I have enough paint left over here. I'll pour a little bit more. I'm just going to see what it does. Now you can, yeah, put paint over that ink because most of the ink comes off, but you wouldn't ink once you use the paint. Does that make sense? I mean, unless you just cleaned it off real quick with a baby wipe. But the ink dries really, really quick. So if anybody's on here with some good ink tips that I have not mentioned, feel free. Share the goodness. Make sure that I don't have any on the white part. All right, so let's just put it right above it and we'll see if there's a difference. Again, I'm going to put it down, hold it. Just kind of slow your roll a little bit when you go to put it down. Teresa leans more towards the paint. Yeah, well, yeah, I don't know if I can say which one. I have to think about it. I lean more towards the paint, but I can't really tell you why. Maybe I have more colors. Maybe the colors that I need. That might be it. I have stamped on fabric with paint, and I've stamped on fabric with ink. Okay, so yeah, there's a little bit of a difference. So I'm trying to see if there's difference on the, okay. So the paint, so the one on top's paint, it picked up a lot more of the, I need to move something here so I can get closer. I got stacks of, it picked up more of the, oh sorry, can y'all see that? More of the solid area on the butterfly. And that may just be because, could y'all see that? Was I putting it in the right spot? See, on the one on the top has a little bit more in the middle is what I'm talking about. In the middle going out towards the wings. And that may just be I didn't have enough ink. I was a little worried about getting it too much. Wait, I think I'm going to keep these over here. I was going to use little canvases, and then I thought, no, I'll just use something big like this so maybe we could compare. All right. So either one is good. I just think either, I really don't have a preference. I think the ink just may be a little less messy. Hey, Janet. Yes, Janet, it's on the way. It's on the way. All right. So let's see. And thank you, by the way. Thank you very much. Can you paint over the ink or will it bleed through? Can you paint over the ink? Like right here or on here? With a paintbrush, like fill it in. I mean, it won't bleed through. It's pretty, is that dry? Wait, I gotta find a clean finger. Let me see. No, that's not dry yet. The ink does, it dries fast, but it does take a little more time to dry than the paint I use. I use DIY paint and I can dry it very quickly. That's probably the main reason I use, I'm answering my own question. That's probably why I use paint. I can sit here, and you can heat up the ink as well. You just have to try them both. If you wanted to reuse that canvas and paint it white. Oh, no, yes. No, I can paint right over it. Yes, I can paint right over it. I love these. If you want to frame your picture, I like these canvas boards. This is what I used to always paint on because I'd always frame my, pictures. And these just do better. All right, now let me show you a little bit about masking. Is there any other question? Use a primer. Well, with DIY paint, you rarely have to use a primer. But if you do use a primer, you're going to use less paint. So, I mean, that's a win-win too. Okay. I've got stuff everywhere. Let me put this over here. I'm going to squirt it with some water. All right, now let's talk about masking. Hey, Connie. Yeah, yep, ink is permanent. And that is nice. That's nice for fabric and stuff because it is permanent. let's see real quick. Let me just, I think we found in the group that, I should get that back, but I sprayed it with water. So let me get another little butterfly. And I'll show you using it without the Thin Mount. You don't have to have a Thin Mount, it just helps. But some of the ink, like I forgot what colors we were using, maybe red or green or something, but they didn't show up that well, some of the ink colors. So let's try that again. Where's the blue ink? Make sure I'm on the, can't keep it straight. Do love this color. See, I feel like with the roller, I don't get like, see right there where I got it right there in the middle? But it's not a big deal. Just wipe it off. Just wipe it off. All right. So if I don't have a Thin Mount, I just hold it in a spot, you know, just try to steady it as best I can, like this. And then I just go down. Where am I on the camera? And then I'll just go down with it like normal. Let it kind of drop there. Go low as you can and kind of let it drop. And then press it with a hand. And always have a hand on it. Okay? And when I use it on fabric, I will, I'll heat set it. I'll heat set the ink. I wash the fabric first, and then I stamp it, and then I will heat set it with my iron, no steam. And it, you know, it should be good to go. So see the difference in the, I love that though, it looks kind of vintagey. So, but this is on a piece of drop cloth. So, and it's tan colored, right? So if I had put that on a t-shirt, I don't think I have a t-shirt over here. If I had put that on a t-shirt like that little baby onesie, it's a little, I don't want to get ink on it. Come down. It's just going to be a little lighter, okay? But on fabric, I do like the ink, especially on fabric. I do. It's just soft looking and you don't have that texture of paint that can build up, right? Okay. Now, let me show you some stamping. All right, so most of the stamps now will come with mask, what they call mask. And they'll say on the box, on the container, well, this doesn't have it, but most of them will say new, have a sticker if it comes with mask, or they sell masks separately. So like for instance, this is, yeah, I'll just look at, this is the Peony stamp that I have cut up. Okay, peonies. Big, look how big that is. So big. I think that's what I used on this one, if y'all can see. So, huge. All right, and so the stamps, the mask come clear. And so I just stamped them so I could see them because I lose them. And, you know, that's not something I always want to do, is sit around and stamp my mask. I think this is the only one I've done. So, but they just come clear. Now, if you have stamps and you don't have a mask, if you don't have this, It's not a big deal. Just trace around this on paper and cut it out. That's what I used to do before they came up with masks. I would just cut them out on paper. So I'm going to show you real quick like how to do some masks. So let's get one that's not so big. These are awesome though. That's a good one. So like, when do you want a mask? Well, like back in the fall when we had the pumpkins and all that, that was fun to mask having, and so when you mask, you're actually putting one object in front of the other without the paint or the ink blending or smudging and making it just look, you know, kind of yucky or just muddy. And so I like to mask too, like if you want to put some leaves behind a flower. So like all these flowers come with these big leaves, okay, right? And so if you want to put a leaf behind a flower or a flower behind another flower, and so you can show a grouping, then you want a mask. All right, so I like this one. So where's this stamp? So you're going to match up your stamp, okay, with your mask, all right? Now let me put the top on this ink. Okay, so we'll just take these leaves, and is that flower, where'd it go? Is it too big? See, I've already lost it. Oh, it was up here. All right, so let's just use these two pieces. So this is for this one, okay? So they match. They match like this, okay? Put these up. This actually is fun to me. I like this. I like trying to think it through. It's like a puzzle. But the one thing you have to remember is what I tell myself. Okay, whatever you want in front goes first. So F's, two F's together. What is the Thin Mount for? Yes, Lisa. That's what I've been cutting, the Thin Mounts. I've been cutting them up. Like it comes in a big sheet, okay? It comes in a big rectangle. And then you peel off your stamp. Like for instance, I just had this butterfly, I peeled it off. Now, instead of putting it back onto my sheet that it came on, I can just put it right here, stick it on, cut that out, and just save them all in a bag or an envelope. Okay, like this. I've got to order some more envelopes. And then just save it. Cut it out. And so you have all this you can cut it out with. That's what I do anyway. I don't know if anybody, Pam, yeah. When you do fabric appliques, yep. Got ink all over me. Okay. Glad I have my apron. All right, y'all. So let's get started on masking just a couple of things. All right. I'm going to have to pour some more paint. I'll just stick with this blue. Okay. Just pretend it's flower colors. All right. So I've got these two stamps, and I want it to look like this on my image. I want the flower. Gosh, I hate when my camera's backwards, y'all. I'm like, I know I look goofy. And then I want the leaf underneath it, okay? So what goes first? Whatever you want in the front. Yeah, it's a little more sturdy. Janet, I use both. That's what I did earlier at the very beginning of the video. I just cut out what it came on. So you can use either one. But it is a little sturdier. It is a little more sturdier. And there's lines on it. So there's lines on it. So if you wanted to spell out something, you can line up the letters, the stamps, the letter stamps. and then you can put it down as one word instead of each letter at a time. Does that make sense? All right, and I guess I could show that too, but all right, so I'm gonna load up my brayer. I'm gonna need more paint, I think. Let's see, my paint's drying up over here, y'all. So again, I'm just pouring out paint. I'm just pouring some out right here. You might not can see it. I did this earlier. All right, so I'm just gonna roll my brayer through the paint again. Okay, making sure not to have it. Now it's getting really thick because I've just had it sitting over here. This DIY paint is clay-based, and it's a pretty thick paint. All right, so here we go. Now remember, what do we want first? Okay, whatever we want first, or in the front, you stamp first. I did something, gosh, it was, a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. I stamped on top of a tabletop, and y'all, it took me forever to get into my head what I was doing because I was using so many pieces. That's where it gets tricky. If you're using like 3 flowers and 2 leaves and a stem, you're like, oh my gosh, you have to literally, or I had to write it down. I laid it all out and, and then had to write it down which one was going to go first. All right, so here's my flower. Okay, so I'm gonna, now this I just have on the paper that it came on, right? I don't have this one on a thin mount, but I still have something and it works just fine. These flowers, sometimes I can't tell what the top and bottom are. Okay, I think this is right. So I'm gonna, let's see. I'm gonna move this over a little bit. I'm gonna come over a little bit right here. Give me room for my leaf. Okay. Just gonna lay it down, hold it, one hand, and then tickle it down. Let's see. And it has the grid of, yeah, that's right, Betty. I don't use them all the time. Like I said, this is fine right here, just whatever it comes on. But mainly for the ones that I have pulled off and they don't stick on their backing well anymore. But like I said, you can clean that with alcohol. All right, so I'm just gonna pull that off. We got a nice, pretty blue peony. Okay. Now I didn't need that leaf, the leaf mask. All right, so let's just see. I got the blue peony right there. Okay. So I am going to put my mask. Let me get that. Let me just dry it just a little bit. And see, I'm using paint and I'm drying it quickly. If I had used ink, you have to wait a little bit longer to let it dry before you put the mask on top of it. Okay. So I'm just going to lay this down. And so I guess also, whatever you want in front, I hope I'm telling you guys right. Whatever you want in the front, you stamp first, and that's what you mask, right? But that gets tricky when you're doing a lot of things. So let's just stick to this 2 things right now, okay? All right, so we're putting down the mask. Again, it comes clear. It comes clear, and so I stamped it. I just took my stamp and stamped the mask. All right, so You lay it down. I don't do anything to hold it down. I just put it like that. And then I take my leaf. Okay. Roll some paint on my brayer again. Fill this up. Y'all don't let me forget to give my number. I'm so excited about getting that number. I thought I was going to get it Friday, and then she said I'd have it, first thing Monday. I didn't get it, and I'm text her, I did not get my number. So anyway, I have a number. Hey Teresa, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I so appreciate you watching. All right, so y'all look. So here's the leaves. And all you do, okay, make sure you're, just hold it in place. It's not that big of a deal, so I don't try to tape it down. You could tape it if you're not sure about it. And so I'm just gonna, just think in your head, okay, how do I want my leaf? So I just kind of want it like you would draw it or paint it or see it. And I'm just gonna come right down. You go right on top of the mask. Right on top of the mask. Just like that. I love the masking, y'all. I love doing the masking. And you also, I remember back in the fall, I stamped some rice paper and then decoupaged the rice paper onto like a plate or a charger. And so that's a cool thing you can do. All right. And then you just lift that up. All right. And then you're going to lift up your mask. Voila. And there you are with the leaves behind the flower. Is that not pretty? I so love this technique so much. All right. Now, is there anything else you guys wanted to see? Does that make sense? Okay. And so you could actually do it again. So let me show you this. Okay, so if you want to do it again, let me draw it real quick. Say you wanted, let's do another little flower or some more leaves. Okay. I was trying to think, what if we just did something totally different? But I can't think right now what it might be. Right here that I have. I don't have anything. Okay, so, I'll go back into my bag. Let's grab a different leaf. How about that? No, because that's the same thing. So let's, well, that would just be the same thing. If you wanted to add another leaf to this side, or like, okay, let's do this. All right. Let's say we wanted a third leaf, okay? And we want it underneath these two leaves that we just did. That's when you bring out the mask for those leaves, okay? Now, if you were going to go way up high with the leaf and have it just barely showing, then you would put this mask back down. And you can do it if you just want to be sure, just in case. Now, I've got blue paint on this mask. So you would put both of them down. Let's just see if we want another flower. I don't know when to stop, y'all. I'm sorry. I just get so, I don't know. Let's have a little one coming off, okay? But again, we want this one behind it, okay? So, anything that we want in the front gets masked. I hope that makes sense. I know it sounds a little much. It did for me. Y'all probably saying, we know, it's so easy. It wasn't for me. I don't know why. Okay, so I've got the flower mask down right there, and I just want this kind of coming off a little off the side there. So the only thing that's really hitting the mask is that little stem, but that's what I want. I want the stem, I want it to look like it's coming behind the flower. Okay. Just remove it all. Let's see, we have it coming. We have this little piece coming behind the flower. Oh, I just touched it. I probably smeared it. I kind of smeared it. And so you can just keep building. So like I can put, now the hardest part is keeping up with your mask. That's the hardest part. All right, so I've got that down. Again, I'm putting both of these down again, the big flower and the leaves. Okay, and I'm just going to add one more leaf. This big leaf. Okay, that's big. All right. Let's just say I kind of want it coming a little bit under both of them, the flower and the leaves. So I'm just going to hit right. I'll try to miss my butterfly. So I'm going to come on top of both of them. Just a little bit on the edge. And then peel away the layers. This is so fun. Okay. All right. So now, see, we've got like a grouping. Got that one flower, we've got 3 leaves underneath it, and a little piece coming out from the top. All right. I hope all that makes sense. I hope it was helpful. I hope, I'm sorry if it's like redundant. But look, it takes practice to feel comfortable, you know, with these stamps. But when you love them so much, you know, you're just determined to do it. At least I was. So let me know if you have any other questions. Oh, is it confusing? I know it is a little confusing. But, and look, if you, and I said I was going to do this for the molds. And I'm going to go back because I asked people if they wanted a PDF, if they wanted like the stuff written down. Put in your email address and I will send you like a PDF of it. Creative Junkies, I'll just put this, you know, in the group so you can just, it'll be right there to see, which I have not done that either. And I will, it'll just be right there in the basics in the very first video, first guide. So, okay, great. Really? All right. Oh, I'm so glad it was helpful, y'all. I'm so glad. Okay. Well, give it a try. Give it a try. Tomorrow, I'm trying to think. Tomorrow, I'm going to do like a project with this technique. So, I'm trying to think what I'm going to do. I have this little bitty table, little stool-like table thing. That I thought maybe would be good. I could just stamp right on the top of it so y'all can think like, okay, you can do this stuff on furniture. You know, it'll just be a miniature little piece of table. So you could do it on a tabletop. You could do it on a drawer. You could do it on a canvas. You could do it on a door. I've got to write that down because I don't even know what I just said, but I felt like Dr. Seuss. And I rhymed. I don't even remember what I said. Okay, so that's it, guys. So tomorrow, let me know if you have any questions. If you want to go, I'm putting those up and hadn't cleaned them. If you want to kind of do something along with me, I'm not sure which one I'm going to use. I think I may use this. I love the peonies. I also love the sunflower, and it's just a little square top, so I can't put something huge on it, but we'll do something like that. Okay, I gotta figure out now which ones. I need one more, because you gotta wash these, y'all. See what I mean? I was just putting them up and not gonna clean it. And it's not like it's gonna tear them up. It just, because these are pretty big, you know. But like my kindest regards, how it's so detailed and little. I've got paint, like, I need to, like, get in there and dig it out, honestly. All right, so I'm just loading up all my stuff to go wash right now. Let me know if you have any questions. Little pig. Oh, my goodness. All right, guys, let's see. You could letter or number the stamps in the order. Yes, Betty, yes, you can. Let me tell you one quick thing. I was going to show you how to mask with the letters, but I don't want to overload. Let's just keep with, you know, I thought this was kind of simple. But this is like the letters. This is what I was thinking about. If you want to spell something out and you need to keep them in a straight line, you can, that's what the Syn Mount's really good for too. Here's like, so I love masking with the alphabellies. Trying to get that light off of you guys. So all of this is masking. All right, so this is the alphabelly stamp where it has all that little good stuff. Little bit, it's just for decorative edging, okay? And then that's what, and you do it the same way. So like take for instance that C, okay? So the image is in the background, right? The decorative part. So whatever you want in front, you stamp first. Those the C is in front, right? On top, front or top, whatever helps you to think about that. So you stamp the C, and then you're gonna mask the C. You're gonna mask the C. So, front, I don't want to confuse you. Whatever you want in the front is stamped first, and it's also masked, okay? Yes. Where did the stamps come from? Faye, I have them all on my website. Let me, I thought I was going to put it on my computer, but I will put in the comments right after I get off of here. I'll put a link to all the stamps, okay? But it's weatheredwings.com. It's in my shop. A lot of people don't know that you have to, you know, look in the menu where it says shop. And that's where all my stuff is, okay? That's where all the products that I use are. Okay. Oh, Margaret, thank you for reminding me. I have a number, y'all. Yes, Donna, I do. I'm going to put the link in right when I get off. Yes, Pam, I will post the number. I'm going to write it down too real quick and hold it up. Right here. Okay? I know. I mean, you may not all want to be notified. So, of course, if you don't, now, of course, I don't have a big marker so y'all can see. Maybe this paint pen. A paint pen. All right, let's see. I had to take a picture of it. Close. Let's see. If I don't see this, I'm going to be so mad. Well, I may have to. I wrote it down. Hold on a minute. Hold on. I know I wrote it down. And it's not that hard to remember either. 205. I'm going to put it on a chalkboard too behind me. So it's 205, which is my area code. 255 9496. Okay. So That's it right there. So just text to that number, and then I think you have to give an okay or something for me to send you text. But of course, I'm not going to bombard y'all with text. I'm just going to just notify you when if there's something in stock that's been out of stock, or when I'm going live, of course, or something important. Okay. All right. So, but I'll post that too. All right. Okay, guys. I really appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your evening, and I will see you guys tomorrow. All right? Bye. Thanks so much.